As you write your SOPs, an important component is a hazard assessment. You might be wondering what a hazard assessment entails, and EH&S has a template to help you. Now let's talk about hazard assessments in greater detail. First, gather all the reference materials you will need. For example, the safety data sheets, the lab safety manual, or a radiation safety, biosafety, or laser safety manual, the equipment manual, materials and methods, and any written protocols you will be using. Next, sit down as a group with everyone who will be performing the procedure and brainstorm about the hazards. Go through the process step by step and identify the health and physical hazards of the chemicals or materials you will be using. Don't forget to consider other physical hazards that may be involved, including extreme temperatures, repetitive motion, sharps or sharp objects, or mechanical hazards. Ask the following questions. What are the hazards? What part of the body could be affected? How severe could the injury or exposure be? What can we do to prevent that injury or exposure? And what can we do to prepare for accidents or emergencies? Once you've looked at the hazards involved, get into the practice of protecting yourself from those hazards. To do this, you will use what is called the hierarchy of controls. Your first control is substitution or elimination, because if you can eliminate a hazardous chemical or task, you have eliminated that potential exposure. Even if you can't eliminate the hazard, you can reduce the potential risk by substituting with a less hazardous substance. Unfortunately, this isn't always the case. Some hazards just can't be substituted or eliminated. Second, you will look at engineering controls. Engineering controls are mechanisms that have been put into place to physically protect you from the hazard. Examples include a fume hood that removes fumes or vapors from the lab, a biosafety cabinet that filters particles out of the air, or an interlock system that prevents you from entering a room while an X-ray unit is in use. An engineering control might be something as basic as the room's ventilation system. The next control is administrative controls. This is often referred to as the paperwork controls. For example, a written SOP that states that a procedure will only be done in a designated area by trained or other authorized personnel, or that no one will work alone during this process. Another administrative control would be a written policy that states specialized training is required for any procedure using highly hazardous substances. The final control is PPE. Personal protective equipment is the last line of defense between you and the hazard. That's why it's so important. Depending on your laboratory hazards, at a minimum, laboratory coat, eye protection, and hand protection should be chosen to mitigate the hazards present. Closed-toed, closed-heeled shoes are required at all times.